Hello, my name is Tolg and I exist, therefore I think too much. So I left it with a video explaining that I would take a week off of doing this. Has anyone ever watched the movie, was it Jim Carrey? A Series of Unfortunate Events, or read the books. Every time I say that, like, things happen, that's what comes to mind. But it was a series of unfortunate events. So I'm not sure. It was just some fuckery. And some fuckery is a very easy way of saying it. But essentially the pattern was that a small thing happened, got blown out of proportion, reminiscing on big things that happened in the past. A moderately sized thing happened with my cat getting an infection. Taken care of immediately, so solved, and then a bigger thing happened, like a huge thing happened. And then a very, very tiny thing happened, which then, made us reminisce about all the fuckery that happened in the past. And I really easily lose track of time, just entirely. I have a physical calendar to mark down the days, so I generally understand how much time passed, but that all happened roughly within 2 weeks. An issue with how things played out in our life, our mental health disorders and trauma fighting each other. We're both reacting to expectations rather than reality. And then reality just makes these expectations from prior issues in life, more prevalent. And then I get my period. And then Maui gets an infection. Then there was a death in the family. And then the couch broke. So I took maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks off. It's overwhelmed is, a word I could use. Stressed out. People have a tendency to say, well, just go to therapy, to make things better. And I said it in a prior video, therapy is not take this pill and you'll feel better. It's work that you have to do, and the therapist just organizes the work so that you understand what needs to be done. It's a very good thing to have, a wall to throw things at to understand things better, but especially when education is involved. But it is not the answer to the problem. The answer to the problem is solving it yourself. You still have to put the work in. I'm still producing the chemicals whether I see the therapist or not. I'm still overwhelmed and stressed and not dealing with it well. So, while I'd love being everyone's entertainment and toy and dancing for the fucking entertainment of others, I am an imperfect human, and Lord howdy am I imperfect. So, sorry that I did not keep the timetable that I initially wanted to subscribe to. Ta-da! That's as best I can do, is giving an explanation. And there are so many rants that I had thought I would give, because I just never stop thinking. Hence, I think, therefore I am. Or rather, I exist, therefore I think too much. Whoopsie daisy. And I guess I'll end it on one of them because I vaguely recall it. It's not so much a rant. More than losing people in the physical, I have just continued to lose people out of my life. You know, not that they are gone. And it's a different kind of mourning. Where, you know, as per my nature, I would much rather blame myself for things that went wrong. And sure, in a lot of instances, I am absolutely probably to blame. However, blame doesn't necessarily address anything. It's just a means of self-inflicting wounds or inflicting wounds on another so as to not pay attention to the issue. But in mourning the living, I got to the question of, am I mourning their actual person? Or am I mourning the inability to give them the love that I enjoyed giving them? I will never be able to feel those sensations in the same way again. I tell people, like, the one bit of advice I give people when they complain about others in their life is, you know, you can still love them. And you can love them from a distance. People don't need to be in your life. People don't need to serve a purpose in your life in order for you to still be able to love them. But it feels different. So I'm wondering if in my own life, you know, I mourn my emotions, the ability to freely give them. Just an interesting thought, I guess. But yeah, life's been not great. However, I kind of pseudo-fixed the couch. I propped it up on top of a chessboard. Yeah. I will post videos. I will. And I'll make them right after this. You know, just thanks for existing. And keep on. Bye-bye.